Yes, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, we are. This is ONPASSIVE Singapore, Passion Global. We are your friends. My name is Mabel Chan, and so is Jeannie, Faith Yo, and many other co-hosts here helping to manage tonight's webinar, The Future of Internet. ONPASSIVE is the future of internet, and of course, we thank Billmas Production for sharing the slides as usual in many other webinars and tonight. And welcome, Dr. Kianor Shah to Singapore and to Singapore webinar. We look forward to your presentation tonight, but the first portion will be about ONPASSIVE and the onboarding process. Dr. Shah. And then the meeting agenda is ONPASSIVE, the solution, ONPASSIVE, the heart, ONPASSIVE, the founders, here we are, and then the vision, mission, onboarding updates, Q&A, and of course we have leaders and founders sharing, taking their time, special tonight. Here, before I start, I just want to highlight one of Singapore's event on the 17th of December, which is another week from this Saturday, 17 December. It is a meet and greet training, some Christmas celebration by ONPASSIVE Asia Pacific, host by Francis Tay. So Singaporeans, if you are around this time, please let's highlight this event. It can accommodate up to 100 of us in this training, meeting, and Christmas celebration. I will flash this again before I end my presentation tonight. Here, ONPASSIVE, the global launch. We are launched, and on the 24th, we are launched alongside World Cup on the 20th of November. And then on 24th of November in Hyderabad, of course, we have our press conference where the media and the world is encountering ONPASSIVE and we're able to ask questions as to what and who we are. This is a picture showing our executives, Dr. Soha, Kamal, and our director there. So this took place in the ONPASSIVE Technology Hub in Hyderabad. ONPASSIVE, as it was launched, a new era has begun. ONPASSIVE globally launches its first set of disruptive solutions, and let's watch this short video about the media broadcasting us.
ONPASSIVE, the future of internet.
Wow, ONPASSIVE, the future of internet. As you can see, ONPASSIVE globally launches its first set of disruptive solution ONET, OMail, OTrim, and of course, we are going to come up soon, the next video about OConnect. OConnect launching soon.
OConnect is here. Get ready to view our long-waiting solution to connecting the world. OConnect is the best video conferencing software that provides a seamless virtual connect experience with multiple advantages. Equipped with a detailed dashboard, users can track their usage attendance and utilize the in-meeting chat options to improve engagement in every connection. The easy-to-understand and manage OConnect secure online meeting software is a perfect addition to your business communication setup. Its high-quality audio and video output make every meeting easy to record and replay anytime needed. Enabled with one-click upload and on-demand view, OConnect gives the best experience to its users each time. The speech-to-text is an essential feature that accurately converts the speech-to-text using an application programming interface (API). Auto-language translation is a feature that makes it easy for regional language speakers to understand the foreign language. OConnect online meeting platform facilitates real-time collaboration, allowing users to opt for dual screen sharing, making it more effective. OConnect aims to provide an easy and better way of staying connected in the virtual world. Worldwide connectivity is today's necessity. OConnect, developed by ONPASSIVE, is an HD audio and online video conference tool that provides unmatched clarity and quality to every virtual connect. OConnect comes with a highly detailed dashboard that allows every user to manage and track their activity with utmost ease. With unlimited participant addition to a meeting, and its many features like dual screen share, external link integration, easy invites, and others, the tool simplifies every virtual collaboration. OConnect offers an automated speech-to-text service in multiple languages, bridging any vernacular gap between the participants, providing seamless connection with unmatched ease. OConnect brings to the fore advantages of AI enablement that enhances the output of every virtual meeting in a world that gets smaller, with distance becoming immaterial as a limitation. Please get back to the person who kindly connected you here. ONPASSIVE, the future of internet.
Wow, who can beat that? I can't reiterate what was in the video, but this is really unmatchable, and we are in it to win it. We are 1.43 million of us, but there is already 102,000 million people visited our website. ONPASSIVE website since the launch of ONPASSIVE alongside with World Cup. Look at this amount. Friends, customers, it's time to join us. It's time to come on board ONPASSIVE, the ecosystem. But look at this, not now, not yet, but soon. Founders, I know you are excited. You are looking forward to your invite link. So not now, get ready, not now, but soon. So just wait for the invite link. Will be available soon. Okay, so I just showed you the video of OConnect and all the rest of the free solutions, OMail, ONET, OTrim. The world is hunting us down, but wait a little longer for our invite link. There's something as we enter into the time where we get ready to invite our friends and go into the marketplace, there is some sharing guideline. This is just what I heard from Marty. When we are ready to share our invite link or to share ONPASSIVE with our friends, listen here, just share. Just share the link for free solutions. Do not market, do not recruit, do not sell. Just invite them to the ecosystem, and then the AI in the whole platform will lead and show them this is ONPASSIVE, a brand new way to master the internet. So do not market, do not recruit, do not sell. Just share the link, ask them to come for the free solutions, come on board, and AI will lead them. All our solutions are what online users, our friends, our business associates will love. So just let me stress, this is stressed by Marty. Do not market, do not recruit, do not sell, just share the link. AI will do the work for us. We are ONPASSIVE. The solutions of ONPASSIVE, OES stands for ONPASSIVE Ecosystem. It's a company that provides solutions, a one-stop shop for everything that you need online on the internet. ONPASSIVE will own the internet. Look at the areas that we'll be touching on: finance, marketing, health. Thank you, Dr. Shah is with us tonight. Health, communication, energy, industrial, entertainment, advertising, crowdfunding, education, and media, and even gaming. This is the world of ONPASSIVE, and ONPASSIVE will own the internet. All the free solutions that we provide under ONET, OMail, OTREAM, this is our robust marketing strategy. As they come for these free solutions and view the world of ONPASSIVE, many will become paid customers and resellers. So when we say we own the internet, we're going to own the internet, it's just, I will not go through, but just take a glimpse of the solutions on these slides. OPeer, accounting, create, Mark, wallet, chat, shop, mall, mall, academy, traffic, my life, Doodle. So this is how all these solutions that ONPASSIVE provide, we will own the internet. So just to highlight the free solutions that we will be providing, and then P stands for a paying solution or connect, that which we just saw the video on. So this is just to persuade you again, ONPASSIVE, with all these solutions, we will own the internet. Thank you again. I must stress Bilma's production for allowing me to collect some of the video slides and then re-message them. ONPASSIVE, the heart. ONPASSIVE is created to lift up humanity, and then we value people above profits. This is the heart of ONPASSIVE. Okay, I don't think I'm muted. Not yet. Okay, so here, just now was the heart, and now the heartbeat of ONPASSIVE. It is said that the products and technology eventually one day can be copied, but the heartbeat of ONPASSIVE can never be matched. ONPASSIVE, Mr. Ashmu Farah, our CEO and founder, says this: when our needs are met, we shift our attention to helping others. Mr. Ashmu Farah says founders are philanthropies lifting up humanity. Mr. Ashmu Farah says ONPASSIVE is the beacon of hope for humanity. As what he said, making the world a better place, one person at a time. Founders, you and I are that one person. You and I are that one person. One family at a time. Your family and my family is that blessed family. Together, collectively, 1.4 million of us will be able to make 1.4 million persons and lifting up his needs, making his world, making 1.4 million persons' world a better place. He, Mr. Ashmu Farah, made 1.4 million of us able to fulfill our dreams. We go and make 1.4 million persons' life better, one at a time. 1.4 million families at a time. several communities at a time, eradicating poverty as much as possible, and together we are indeed stronger. This is the vision and the mission of Mr. Ash Mufareh, making the world a better place through us founders. Where there is poverty, founders will do something. ONPASSIVE, as we have launched, Mr. Ash Mufareh has done so much, and with all the executives behind and launching the whole ONPASSIVE into the world, it is now that founders like you and I be not passive. We may be ONPASSIVE, but we are not passive. Here, I propose the response of founders. I propose to you, I submit to you, or submit as our founders' response. Founders respond, taking ownership. O stands for taking ownership. As Mr. Ash Mufareh was born to make a better place, as he said it, as we have encountered joint belief in ONPASSIVE and with Mr. Ash Mufareh, we need to take ownership, and we need to declare that we were born and chosen to join Mr. Ash Mufareh to help make the world a better place. So let me submit to you, what does O submit means? O stands for ownership. Let's take ownership of ONPASSIVE, of the vision, of the mission, and even our own passion. Take ownership of them in ONPASSIVE. S stands for support. U stands for uphold. Support is the foundation of what we can support. The foundation. Uphold is we lift up ONPASSIVE. No matter what it goes through, thick and thin, we support and we uphold ONPASSIVE. Of course, we believe in ONPASSIVE. We believe in its vision. We believe in the founder, Mr. Ash Mufareh. And M stands for make it happen. Let's make whatever our dream, our passion, our goals, our vision, let's make it happen. And I is a personal thing. It's no more we are in it to win it, but I am in it. I am in it to make it happen. Together, T stands for together, we are stronger. And as we go through this onboarding process, and seeing it ONPASSIVE being launched, I have a little bit more to share about the founders' response. Be grateful, we are in. Founders, be grateful, we are in. Believe in Mr. Ash Mufareh. He is designing many ways how to bless founders and to continually bless the world. Feel the excitement. Some of us are wondering what is happening. Let's not wonder anymore. Let's take ownership. And at $97 of what you paid to become a founder, whatever is happening now and later on, this is an over delivery. And I have also this to say, between founders and the world, founders are not customers. ONPASSIVE is the founders' business. Founders assist in the testing and the beta testing that we are going through. Founders get to participate in this great migration that is in the process now. We are founders, and we have a role to play in this migration, in the birth of ONPASSIVE. We are brand ambassadors representing ONPASSIVE with solutions to help humanity. Well, watch out, we have launched on the 20th of November. We have launched, and following the next few slides, it's about the migrating process onto the ONPASSIVE ecosystem. Some of us are here to want to understand the migrating process a little bit here. So here, give your attention. And after this, Dr. Shah will come in. The onboarding process. We will now migrate to the ecosystem through this website of www.onpassive.com. onpassive.com. As you visit this website of onpassive.com, you will encounter this platform, and you ought, if you are a founder, you ought to be clicking here, founding members. Do not register for free in this category. This is for customers. I will go a little bit slower. So here we now migrate. If you have not registered, that means you have not migrated to the ONPASSIVE ecosystem. This is now the website you ought to go through, www.onpassive.com, and then you will see this two link. Founders, click here, not here, should be clear enough. Okay, click here, not here, click the founding members icon or the tab. As you click, you will come to this page. It will bring you to this page. Remember, you came from here, and now you are brought into a page called Log In as a Customer. Some of us have not registered, some of us have, and have some questions. So this, we want to make it clear enough today. If not, there's a Q&A session later on. So this is the login for a founder after clicking on to www.onpassive.com. Here, you just need to fill in 2 lines, enter your founder's email, which is Yahoo or Gmail or etc. You sign up for an ONPASSIVE account with a Yahoo or a Gmail account, email. So click, type that email here, enter the password that you use to go into allfounders.net. So this page is about allfounders.net particulars. Then click login. Okay, if it's not clear, you can call me or we can chat again. When you log in here, when you put in your email and password to allfounders.net, click login and you will come to this next page. It is the page for creating your OMail. You enter through your allfounders email. Now you are in the page called Create Your OMail, Create Your OMail. And in this page is so much, it's already simplified versus 2 weeks ago. Okay, simplified. Your name, your first name and your family name is already pre-filled. Should you want to edit it, you can also. Then here it is where you create your OMail. It can be the OMail you created 1 year ago, a few months ago, or you can right now take the opportunity to create an OMail that you like. Then set the password for this OMail. Now, this just now earlier was the password to go into allfounders.net. This is the password to go to your OMail. This page is about creating your OMail. So create your OMail, set the password, confirm your password, and then pre-fill. You have an alternate email here already pre-filled for you. They call it populated for you. This is the email that is here. Remember, enter your allfounders email. This email is listed here. So this is the email you use to create an ONPASSIVE account. It is listed here just to make sure you have everything intact. How you bought, how you came into ONPASSIVE on an account, and now you're creating an OMail email. One more thing. Upon successful registration, you will enter the ONPASSIVE ecosystem back office. Okay, if all is good, you will be brought to this page, and then you will see you are given a free 10 credits in your old wallet. You see your free 10 credits, you are almost there. You are almost successful. Actually, you will be 90% successful. Another 10%, I need to confirm that you have registered correctly as a founder, is to look out for this one. look out for the O Founder tab in your profile page. On this ecosystem back office, top right-hand corner, you will have a profile tab. Tap your initial. The profile tab will have a drop down. Go into the profile page and make sure you see a O Founder tab. I can only create these generic tabs, generic boxes, because I can't show you the real ecosystem. We're not allowed to show you the ecosystem yet. So here, when you are in the ecosystem back office, go to the top right-hand corner, have a drop down, go into your profile page. Now, all of you who have gone into the allfounders.net, you are very familiar about profile page. So same thing, there is a profile page here. Click the profile page, make sure you have a tab called O Founder. That will make you 100% successful. You are registered, you have migrated successfully. Now, this login site for founders to ecosystem. This is for founders who have successfully migrated over to the ONPASSIVE ecosystem. So you logged out and you want to go back in, right? You want to go back into your ecosystem. You should be going into this site. Just make sure now it is logged in. You log in with your OMail, with your email in the omail.ai. Then OMail password, log in, and you are back into the ecosystem. So just make sure there are basically two login sites. One login site is for you to log into the OMail, into the ecosystem. The other one is the founders one. So as you move along, you will understand. So again, look out for the O Founder tab in the profile page. We are almost done in terms of the onboarding process and the steps to migration. After successful migration, after successfully gone into the ecosystem, we can access our O Founders back office through the ONPASSIVE ecosystem. On the ONPASSIVE ecosystem, on the left-hand side, you will still see a O Founder tab icon. If you tap that, you will enter the allfounders.net back office, our old back office, for updates. Apparently, right now, this ecosystem does not have updates yet. You want updates, you go back to the allfounders.net and you can access that allfounders.net through this ecosystem with a tab called OFounders. And I have also been advised there might be some of us, the tab on this ONPASSIVE ecosystem to OFounders may not be activated yet. So if it is not, just wait a little while more. If not, someone will share with you the latest update. You can go in through another way, but maybe we can share it on WhatsApp, the link. So I just know that when we speak too many words, we lose each other. So I will just shorten it here. You can ask the Q&A if you have questions. So Dr. Soha says, teamwork with intelligence win the championship. We are the champions of the world. I am ending. So as I end, I just want to flash this again, that on the 17th of December, the week after this Saturday, there is a Singapore event, which is the meet and greet training come Christmas celebration organized by ONPASSIVE Asia Pacific by Francis Tay. One of them will highlight this again. We can take 100 packs. Maybe there's a small fee at the entrance to collect. So with this, I must right now introduce Dr. Shah. He will come on after this short description about him. Dr. Shah, I will attempt to highlight your profile. It is long, but this is what, let me share. Dr. Kianor Shah is a practicing dentist. entrepreneur, and traveling healthcare provider from Palm Desert, California, USA. Dr. Shah is a seasoned educator in clinical topics with regards to the head and neck anatomy, biophysics, surgical extractions, and oral implantology. Dr. Shah practices in the fields of prostotonics, periodontics, endodontics, pedodontics, orthodontics, and oral surgery. I have this to say. Please forgive me for any wrong pronunciation of the tonics. But
Lots of tonics.
Tonics. We are so privileged, Dr. Shah, so honored to have you to come to Singapore. Yes, ONPASSIVE Singapore, and to share with us your passion and how ONPASSIVE will help continue and enlarge your passion and medical practices, touching more lives and helping more patients. All to you, Dr. Shah. Thank you for coming on board and to grace our webinar. I'll stop share.
Thank you, Mabel, for having me, and thank you for Debbie for inviting me to the Singapore platform. We have many of our good friends. I don't know if I'm as energetic as Dr. Derek to get everybody pumped up this morning. But thank you for Sam, Pat, and Derek also that we work with closely on these podcasts. First and foremost, congratulations to all the ONPASSIVians for the big launch. I wanted to kind of touch up a couple of topics before we get into that. About 9 days before our launch, unfortunately, as Mabel and Debbie know, my mother passed away, and that was quite unfortunate. But there was a lot to be learned from that experience. And just to start off this meeting, to your mothers, to your fathers, to your sisters and brothers and daughters and sons, take some time every week to spend with them, to hug them, tell them that you love them. These things are very, very important because once it's over, you won't have the ability to do so. And today could be the last day. Those that are closest to you. It is very unfortunate that I've learned that families and people come together when there's tragedies. They sit around, look at old family photos, experiences that they might have had. And it's very unfortunate that we do that when there's a tragedy. On passive, though, it is not a tragedy. We're coming to change the world, and we're coming together for a purpose. But then again, this is a very positive thing here versus what I just experienced on the other side. So with that said, let's get into ONPASSIVE for humanity. For thousands of years, there was trade, and the trade was between two individuals that exchanged goods and services. And for barter scenarios, later became a monetary scenario. And today, things are changing very rapidly, especially from the 90s, if you guys remember. Up to the 90s, 2000s, the internet boom, we really didn't know who was in the background. We were going out, getting our needs, our foods, our equipment, our cars, our houses. But there was always a third party in the equation. And this third party has inflicted a tremendous amount of pain on commerce. You would never know who these third parties are because the deals would be done in the background and you would be the one paying for it. Businesses that participated would be paying for it. A business can only be sustainable if it's lean, which means it has good overhead control. It doesn't waste resources. So with ONPASSIVE, something unique is happening here. There are no more secrets. When there are interactions between two parties, they become a very clean, lean scenario utilizing technology as a platform. So we have a tremendous opportunity here to impact all industries. You know, Mabel was talking about industrial scenarios, healthcare, education, and also with OBLES, you can do a lot of good. So now in the OBLES scenario, we are able to track and see who is donating and who is receiving things on the other end, not just for healthcare providers, but for anyone that wants to contribute to eliminating this poverty that was alluded to early in the presentation. So many of you that are sitting here, I guarantee you in the last 2 decades, you contributed to something because of the goodness of your heart, and you didn't know really what happened with those funds. And statistics in the States show that the vast majority of those funds donated to good causes are pocketed by some executive in the company, or used as overhead expenses, and the vast majority of it disappears, and only a small fraction of it reaches the target, be it in Africa, be it anywhere in the world. So we can eliminate that now, and we can rebuild trust in the goodwill of our heart without having to worry about these evil forces in the world to come in and marginalize those the good is intended for. Let's see here. And OBLES will have a tremendous impact. My scenario that started with Ash about 4 years ago was sort of the desire to create something that eliminates the middleman. I wanted to do it in healthcare, and healthcare is very important. And all these other industries, defense, energy, etc., are not functional for society if there's no healthcare. If healthcare is lacking, if you're not healthy, you're unable to do all those other things or run a good country. Well, now on a global scale, everything is globalized. So we must look at healthcare. With poverty also comes a lot of health problems. In the first world, second world, which we're trying to eliminate all those kind of verbiages and ways of thinking, if you don't have insurance and you don't have the capital, nobody cares about you. It's a very sad story, because healthcare should be a universal right for people. People should be able to access healthcare. The healthcare industry, where I saw the vision of Ash when I first met him, excited me, because we are trying to do something similar on the doctors' environment. For our profession, you guys go to doctors, some of you don't trust doctors because you think it's a marketing function, or you're trying to get into your pocket, or what have you. But the reality of is vast amount of doctors are doing God's work. They're doing something very, very good. They're helping fixing other humans. Rest assured, we have 1.4 million people. Every time you go out and you help one family, you double that. That's impacting someone's life. A doctor does it essentially every day, all day, and if there is the bad will is taken out of the equation, that doesn't come from the doctors. This comes from the people that are trying to dominate doctors, be it big pharma, be it insurance companies, be it management groups that come in and take over control of the accounts and the facility and so forth. So we have to step up, and in order to fix healthcare around the world, is number one, we need a body to oversee this, because such thing doesn't exist. The local regulations are becoming obsolete and useless because everything is so globalized. We launched the doctor-to-doctor movement, and as of date today, it's spread to 142 countries with countless leading high-profile doctors that are helping us with this scenario. And we hope that ONPASSIVE will also come in and join us in that effort. I'm having a little bit of a, okay, there you go, screen issue. The way this would work for us, after the World Cup is over, the next step is to participate in the Doctors World Gala. And I'll get to that in a second, how we conceptualize that. But the movement on our end for the healthcare industry, the vision that we have is to enable healthcare professionals who enable patients minus all the third parties. If you put into perspective what is being spent for these third parties that are completely unnecessary, that could be replaced with technology such as insurance, multi-trillion-dollar business that could benefit humanity across the world multiple times over, are being invested by governments, by private equity groups into systems that don't need to exist. We believe that ONPASSIVE can replace all those systems, not just making those entities that are causing a lot more harm than good to be obsolete. And obsolescence comes with lack of innovation, which you don't have that problem here on ONPASSIVE. So creating monetary means, creating a way for the insurance monster and all of those other things are part of the agenda here for healthcare providers. Our launch started in 2020 and January 1 at 1200 hours, and we launched the first group of the world's top doctors. It was not about being exceptional or superior. It was more about creating a small group of people, small group of brilliant minds that can actually come up with ideas and how we can fight back to what was for thousands of years a doctor-patient relationship until technology came around and they sort of twisted everything and had their own excuses for their existence in our industry. And this has led to patients not trusting their doctors, not having enough access to care, and some people profiteering aggressively in the healthcare industry. So industry number one, healthcare, above all the others, even in revenue, it is the biggest one. And doctors need our help. They need our help because they're isolated. Their doctors are, and Mabel read a little bit about my background. It's not just been mostly in dentistry. I practice 2-3 days a week. I do a lot of surgery, but the other 2-3 days a week, I am working on this doctor-to-doctor movement. And I've been doing so pretty much 7 days a week between clinical practice and this for a very long time. And we're learning just what the issues are, and we're trying to address them. For example, next Sunday, we instituted a HEX commission from different medical professions from around the world to come to the table to address these post-COVID issues that we're now running into. So what we would love to see happen with ONPASSIVE is a merger of interests and ideas. We would like to create a scenario where doctors can go in specifically for healthcare providers and be able to use all of these different verticals that we're launching here to empower and enable them in their practices so they can empower and enable patients. That's the only way you increase access to care. That's the only way you treat more patients, you reduce your costs, is by eliminating and kicking these groups out of our offices and out of our operatories so the world can have peace once again. We intend to be that body that regulates the regulators. It's solely doctors from medicine, pharmacy, optometry, chiropractic, and medical philosophy and pharmacy that we have brought to the table. And our internet partner is going to be our solutions provider will be ONPASSIVE. And after the World Cup, we are hoping to have a great focus on the World Gala that's happening in Sardinia, Italy. If I may share my screen here, let me go here and give you guys a little bit of update about that. So we gathered up about, at this point, it's about 700 doctors out of 142 countries, and it's expanding, but there will be 1,000 of these key opinion leaders and big speakers, innovators. They're going to bring their ideas to the table. Let's see if we can get here. So here's our if you guys run into this and you see this, it has to do with our organization for healthcare. And Zoom quick unexpected. Can you see my screen, Mabel?
Yes, you can see.
Okay. So are gonna I lose you for a second there. Hello, Mabel?
Yeah, we can hear you
You
now.
stop.
You
Okay,
you
I think I
muted.
lost you guys for a second there.
Yes.
Let me go here. Okay, so our goal is to get you guys involved with the World Gala, have presence there not only in the exhibition but also on the floor of ONPASSIVE representatives, brand ambassadors, founders that want to attend, and actually talk to these doctors that are going to be there. Each one of them has something like a 30, 40, 50,000 followers, and there's about 1,000 of them there. And if we can convince that group that ONPASSIVE is the future, that ONPASSIVE is the solution, that ONPASSIVE is the only way to sustain what we need in the healthcare industry, rest assured, they're going to bring their followings to the platform, and we will capture the entire global healthcare industry. And it's our belief that we can pull it off at this event. So if you're interested in coming, reach out to me, or if you're interested in exhibiting or partnering in some capacity, this is going to be something that we can do in like a hub and spoke model, where we go in, where we have the doctors in the hub at the gala, and turn around and explain to them what ONPASSIVE is, what it can do for us, and where it can get us. People are very excited. The doctors community that we work with, we get
Dr. Shah, you are muted again. I think someone muted
somebody.
you. Yeah.
Yeah, somebody muted me. I'm not sure.
Yeah. All the co-hosts, please be careful. Please do not mute Dr. Shah. Thank you.
And thank you.
Right.
So we would love to have you guys attend. Again, I don't know how much you guys caught, but you're welcome to email me or reach out to me if you're interested in either exhibiting there or participating, to help us convince the medical community of why ONPASSIVE and what it can do for us. If we get these guys to agree and see how broad of an application ONPASSIVE will have on their businesses, from administration to operations to execution, I think we will have a very, very good chance of capturing the entire healthcare market, at least a significant market share, to roll this out in the healthcare industry. Everyone needs healthcare. Every one of you guys has a doctor of some kind, be it a dentist, a medical doctor, an optometrist, a pharmacist, chiropractor. They're all going to be there, representatives of those professions, and it's a good opportunity to seize the moment. Let's go ahead and stop the video. And with that said, basically, I would love to take some questions about where we have been, what we have done with ONPASSIVE, and where we are heading.
Great. Anyone has any question for Dr. Shah? And again, we are so blessed to have him come share with us for all that you have done, Dr. Shah, the movement. And anyone who is familiar with this would like to ask some questions. Let me see.
Everything does happen for a reason, Mabel. There's a reason we've connected with ONPASSIVE. There's a reason we've grown with ONPASSIVE now. And there's a reason we're going to execute the vision that was originally put on the table.
Mm. Yes, we do have. Does anyone?
You have some
Alan
hands
G.
up here, Alan?
Yes, yes. Alan, you want to ask something, or you have someone from Somalia?
Dr. Shah, do you know more how much a stand will cost at the exhibition? Any idea as wanted to take a stall there to put up a stand for as a brand ambassador at the exhibition?
Yeah, so I'm talking to Bill Williams and Ash to get actually a full-blown exhibition partnership with ONPASSIVE, so we can have them in the gala dinner. But for normal exhibitors, and I'll put four links here to the side, and these links, the fourth one is the vendor prospectus. So if you have ONPASSIVE businesses or people that have businesses that they want to market to doctors that are legitimate businesses, they can open up this vendor prospectus here. Let me see. So the fourth link that I put on the side, Ellen, you can pull it up there. Packages from a few $1,000s to, depending if you're also a sponsor in addition to the exhibition. So you can take a look at it. Any business owner is welcome that has the audience of the doctors. And just so you guys know, whatever it is that ONPASSIVians are bringing to the table, you know, if you get 4 or 5 of those guys to agree with your model, you have a tremendous growth potential in the healthcare with that scenario. So feel free to come and join us. It's going to be 3 days on the island of Sardinia, Italy. We chose that because it's the heart of Europe. Everyone can fly into it, and it's a vacation spot for the Europeans. They come there. It's 1,000 doctors, 3 days on an island. First night is the event of the gala where everybody gets to know each other a little bit, and then we have 2 more days to really collaborate and do business with them, sign them up on to ONPASSIVE, and so on. But you got people that if you want to bring your families, for instance, I'm bringing my family. Many of my colleagues are bringing their families. The island tours. It's a very historic type of island. Has a lot of history in it. It's it's kind of like Sicily, but off the coast of Rome, and you'll have direct flights from almost every European country to the island that I'm aware of. The major ones: France, Germany. You can come from Belgium. You can come from Italy, and fly in. I flew to Frankfurt last time. I went last year to check out the venue, make sure it was a very comfortable experience. And we will have a lot of fun. During the day, we have academic stuff with the Italian Dental Association. It's the official national association of Italy. And at nighttime are the gala events. There's a red carpet ordeal. There are 2 dinners. There's a closed door session with those 450 selected key opinion leaders where we're going to sit down and say, hey, what in the world is going on? Who are these people? What are they doing in our industry? Why are they telling doctors what to do? Why are hospitals, you know, we're going to put it all on the table and the majority rules. So if there's 450 guys, you know, they put 100 guys, scientists into a room, and these clowns came out with an atomic bomb. So just imagine you put 450 doctors in a room, and another 500 some on the conference side that people interacted. And then let's talk about it. What happened? How did a group out of the back of a grocery store start an insurance? And now they dominate the healthcare industry. Tell us what you need to do on patients, how to do it. How did these management groups take over the hospitals? How do they tell us to go into a room and do this procedure and do that procedure? Patients come into these facilities, they think, they believe that they're being seen by a doctor, but that's not always. The vast majority of the time, it's not true anymore. These patients are going in, they have no clue who owns the place, who's setting the agenda, who's telling who what to do. So they coerce doctors and assistants and associates and everybody else to produce more and more for them, which causes, you know, poor quality care, fast working, cutting corners, ripping people off. And these doctors, you know, they don't do what they say, they're out of there. They get kicked out of the hospital and everything else. So it's not the doctors that you should not trust. It is the people that have surrounded themselves around these doctors and have grown tall at the expense of patients and doctors that we need to target. We need to get out. And that's what we're going to do with ONPASSIVE. You cannot fight these groups anymore. They're multi-billion, multi-trillion-dollar entities. They have lobbyists everywhere. They own governments. What you got to do is innovation. When you have innovation and you have new ideas, that's how you can beat your opponents, not with fighting and screaming and telling everybody how bad they are, but with innovation. We have innovation, so we have an opportunity to change the course of history, and that's what whatever religion or God you believe in, that's what I believe God would want.
Wow.
Is people like us to come in and stop the evil, stop the corruption, and we intend to do that. I hope I answered your question, Alan.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next, thank you, Doctor. And thank you, Alan, for asking the question. Next, we have Mr. Sushanta. Mr. Sushanta.
Thank you, Jenny. Thank you so much. Hi, Dr. Shah. Good evening, very good evening from Bangladesh, and most welcome. And we are listening you very. You have delivered so many things, and you very nicely clarified the objectives of ONPASSIVE. The one thing is very important, that ONPASSIVE is the internet partner, we can say, for networking all the doctors across the globe. I think it's a very good news for all the general people around the globe. So thank you, Dr. Shah, for your nice presentation, sharing nice information regarding all those things. We are really excited for Doctors World Gala in Italy, but I'm not sure whether it is open for all or not. Thank you so much for giving us this information. Dr. Shah, it's very important that healthcare, but I think you practicing that dentistry. So I have a very basic question, not about ONPASSIVE, but I think it's about our healthcare. And we all know that teeth is very important part of our body, and we should take care of it. And it's very important for all of us. So I would ask a simple question that Dr. Shah, I like to ask that how many times and how long we should brush our teeth every day? Please.
Fair enough.
I like to just have the standard. So many options or so many myths around that, but I like to standard for brushing our teeth so that we can keep our teeth oil. Thank you.
Ideally, that's a great question, and I'm hopeful that it will help some people on here. Your skin is your first line of defense. Your second line of defense sort of is your mouth. There's everything that goes into your body goes through your oral cavity. So we call it the dirtiest organ of the body. And there's so many different bacteria in there, pathogenic, some opportunistic. So ideally, we recommend you brush them 3 times a day, very gently, but 2 times would suffice. If you can do it in the morning after breakfast and at night before you go to bed, you will benefit. And brushing very aggressively back and forth will cause you gum loss, will cause you bone loss, will cause your teeth to have patterns on them at times. So it's very prudent to go in circular motion and push the bristles a little bit underneath your gums to massage that area, because that's also where a pocket of bacteria usually develops, which we call plaque. And brushing toothpaste is really not as significant as people think. You could do it with plain water and have the same results. The idea is to get that layer of plaque off, and you can do it with your toothbrush and be quite successful. But also, gotta tell you, you want to brush your tongue. You can take a toothbrush and water in your mouth and go back and forth and let the water rinse out, and do it again 2 or 3 times until your tongue turns red. If it's not turned red, you still have a carpet full of bacteria and other materials on your tongue. That's another part of your good oral hygiene regimen. So if you'd asked me, flossing is sort of the same scenario. Nothing can replace floss, But if you have open gaps in your teeth, the water will flush through, your saliva will flush through and clean the areas normally. So at a minimum, floss at night, preferably twice a day if you can do it. Anytime you eat anything sugary, go ahead and brush, and make sure you brush your tongue as well every night. I'm always open for the dental stuff. That's the day-to-day activity. I do this all day long. So if you need dental consultations of any kind relating any aspect of dentistry, I'd be glad to do it. I'm a key opinion leader for a dozen companies. Feel free to reach out to me. But I appreciate also your kind question here related to ONPASSIVE.
Thank you, Shah. May I ask one more question, if you allow, Mabul?
Oh, yes, sure, go ahead.
As Dr. Shah said that ONPASSIVE is providing the internet solution for everyone. Of course, doctors are also there. Dr. Shah, can we expect that through internet we can connect that all the doctors or most of the doctors can be connected in the internet, in a network, so that everyone can connect to any doctor, especially the specialist across the globe? Is there any option, or are you thinking to make any network through ONPASSIVE internet so that we all the ONPASSIVians, we all the founders of ONPASSIVE can contact the required or the specialist doctors at any time, any moment for any specific case? Thank you, Dr. Shah.
It's actually a brilliant idea that you should probably bring up to the Leadership Council. Doctors are limited by the licenses in a region or location, be it a country, be it a state. We're trying to change that. The United Nations tried to bring higher education to all countries without that kind of a regulatory red tape. Eventually, they make a lot of money by charging for licenses and exams, and every 2 years this and every 2 years that. But we need a global scenario. So if we had an internal scenario at ONPASSIVE, which I will have this discussion with the leadership, and you should too, because it's your idea, it would be great to have an internal scenario where you can have discussions, less so on a regulated basis, because to do a proper medical exam or a proper dental exam, you need the patient's records, you need healthcare information. But to just have general consultations like you and I just had, that would be a great idea for the doctors. And to get the doctors on this platform to do something like that, we need a spark. You know, the spark for ONPASSIVE that brought 1 million people together was, hey, we got artificial intelligence. It's a beautiful thing. It's going to change the world. It's going to save humanity. We need that little spark, and we need you guys to help us get these guys on the platform so we can explore all sorts of different concepts, including credentialing them to ONPASSIVE, setting up their offices completely A to Z with ONPASSIVE, where they can do just about everything: supplies control, materials, their upfront infrastructure, their phones, their computers, etc., etc., etc. I'm hoping this spark will happen on the island where we are going to convene. The more help I get from you guys, you know, for the next 6 months, if you guys want to help us, this is what we do almost every day. The hashtag doctor to doctor. It's kind of like the idea of blockchain. Cut everybody else out that's profiteering and sort of all the parasites gone. Then you have doctor to doctor, doctors helping doctors, doctors teaching other doctors how. So for me to come in and tell all my colleagues on this concept that ONPASSIVE is great, it'll solve a lot of your problems, they're more apt to also receive it, especially when there's some support there in Sardinia. But great idea. I think it's very doable, and I think we can achieve that. But first, we need the doctors on the platform. We got to board them on.
Thank you, Dr. Shah. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sushanta. That was a very, very good question. Both of your questions are very good, and we are learning from it as well. And Dr. Shah, thank you for replying to the questions. And I think for ourselves here, we also can come together, and through the questions that Mr. Sushanta asked, I think, yeah, it's very, very good question. It makes us think, you know. Thank you so much. So next we have Mr. Sampat from India. Mr. Sampat, please.
Thank you, Jeannie Dan, for inviting me. I have not any question, but I say some word in this forum if you have permission.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, thank you. First of all, I would like to thank ONPASSIVE Singapore team, because of which this international webinar is being successfully conducted for the last several months. And on behalf of all ONPASSIVE founders, I would like to thank the organizer of this webinar, Mabel Chen, Jeannie Tan, and Fathio, for inviting us on this platform. And also I heartily congratulate the special guest of today's meeting, Dr. Kianor Shah, because you take time out of your busy schedule and come among us. As you all know, the hard work of all of us for the last 4 years is paid off. And today, through this platform, I would like to thank the CEO of our company, Mr. S. Mufra, tech team of Hyderabad, and O Media team of Dubai, whose because of which our ONPASSIVE ecosystem is live today. And on 6th, there was a corporate webinar of our company in which a lot of information was given to us by our CEO and O Media head of Dr. Soha. And 20 days ago, there was a press conference in Hyderabad office, a video of which was released, in which their 3 products were launched, and I am very excited about most of favorite product of OConnect. A new era has started in the internet world where we all are earning, whether you are a doctor, whether you are a student, or you are a network marketer, a businessman, or you are a government servant employee, or an unemployed. ONPASSIVE company's product are going to be very useful for all of us, and we all are also earning from these products. Today, through this meeting, I request all the founders, we all should participate in the 2023 Doctors World Gala that is going to happen. With that, I want to thank you all. Me and Sapna Gupta together have started a YouTube live program called ONPASSIVE Passion, in which our today's guest is also Mr. Dr. Shah, Kianor Shah. Please watch this program and motivate with us. Thank you very much. Over to host. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Mr. Sampat.
Thank you, Sampat. I look forward to the discussion next on your platform of India after we been graciously invited to Singapore.
Thank you, Dr. Shah. Okay, next we have Gola Raja Ganesh. Gola, please. Yes, Gola, can you speak? Are you there? Gola? If you're not there, I will skip. I'll come back to you. We have Miss Debbie, please. Miss Debbie.
Hello, our brand ambassador family. Greetings to each and every one of us. And a special welcome and thank you to Dr. Kianor Shah for accepting the invite. And before I continue, I want to say, please accept our condolences for the passing of your mom. It's not everyone who can deal with a loss that easily and bounce back into normal life. But we know deep down you're still in pain and still mourning, and that will never go. But just know that your ONPASSIVE family is there supporting you. Even if they do not tell you in person, those who hear of it, they think of you and they always will continue to have you in their prayers. This is a prayerful forum and a prayerful family brought together by our CEO. And next, I want to thank you for the free dental lessons you just gave 200 of us who are currently signed in. Whether we like it or not, if you go to see a dentist in the US, especially where he is, for the period he talked to us about that free lesson, you have a bill of between $300 and $500 minimum. And out of that money, he probably will have about $20 if he's lucky. It is distributed between the hospital, the administrators. I mean, it's a host of things. And he just gave it to us for free. This is what ONPASSIVE is bringing to us. People who are dedicated to giving their knowledge that they learned from school. And school in America, especially going to medical school, is not cheap. They dedicate their lives to serving people, to serving mankind. So we really, really respect you and we thank you. I know now going forward, I don't need, if I'm out of toothpaste, I don't need to look for one. I can just brush and I'll be fine. So thanks again for that lesson. And my last question, the question I have for you is about Italy in June of next year. The doctors that you currently have, are they all physicians? I know they're from several countries of the world. Do you by any chance have interns who are working in their residency that you would recommend they attend? And if yes, do you feel that they will benefit from attending the Sardinia conference for interns?
Thank you, Debbie, for all the kind words. I appreciate it. That was very nice of you, and I appreciate you keeping my mother in your prayers. As to Sardinia, we highly recommend and invite residents as well as anyone in the scientific sector of the healthcare industry that wish to participate. It took me a career of 17 years of going from Miami to Chicago to New York to San Diego to Italy to Germany to all over the world lecturing to meet these people. It wasn't easy. I religiously actually been going to conferences for well over a decade. And for a resident to come in and join us and meet all these people in one shot just facilitates and accelerates their career tremendously. For the doctors that get to have the chance in their lives to get away and come on site, it's a huge, tremendous benefit to shake hands with the people that wrote the books that we went to school with. It's not just dentists. You have medical doctors, pharmacists, optometrists, chiropractors, and philosophers, as well as specialists of all sorts. So anyone that carries the healthcare provider title is welcome to this event. It's all about the patient-doctor relationship, and we don't exclude anyone in that scenario. So it actually applies to every human being because we're all patients. We are all someone's patients. But if you guys are gonna come for ONPASSIVE people, contact me on my email, and I can give you a VIP code to get into the conference for $150 instead of $300, which is the general admission fee. Just email me and I'll take care of it. I'll put my email over here again for your residents. If you guys really truly can and want to help us, the doctors that you see in Singapore, in Bangladesh, in Kumaran was from there, in Malaysia, wherever that you are, we want them. Every one of them matters to us. If they want to come, invite them. Tell them that you can get them a special deal to be there. I'll gladly honor it. The idea is to make sure that we're maximum at 1,000 doctors on site. Then we're gonna come to ONPASSIVE and say, hey, Ash, Bill, how can we get this to every corner of the world in every country from coast to coast? How can we make this happen with ONPASSIVE in 6 months? If you guys have ideas, please come tell me. We're very eager. But the idea is put those 1,000 in a room, conduct all the business there, have a lot of networking going on between companies on passive, doctors, etc., and then turn around and broadcast this whole thing all over the world, so everybody knows what has happened to them thus far and where we're trying to go. So we want to get very loud, and in order for this to happen, you really need ONPASSIVE. You can't do this alone.
But doctor, what is the capacity at this Italy? You just want 1,000 participants?
Yeah, we're saying 1,000 doctors, probably about 1,500 with all the support staff, the exhibitors, the teams that are setting up, taking down, and all of that. But there's going to be a 1,000 doctors that we know.
1,000.
Yes, so
doctors.
1,000 doctors.
Because your
Any
movement
profession.
already have 700, right? You have 700 doctors.
Well, the movement is there, yeah, key opinion leaders. They're all very well established doctors. Yes, but then there's the Italians that are coming in, the Italian Dental Association that's concurrently holding the scientific stuff during the day at the same venue, which is the Chia Laguna Resort. It's a 5-star resort that they manage all of that locally. And so combined, we should end up somewhere between 1,000 to 1,500 people being on site on those 3 days.
That means doctors and founders,
Exhibitors.
doctors, exhibitors. Okay.
Yeah. Gonna try to get Ash down there. We're now talking to some royals out of the Middle East. We're approaching the president of Italy. It's kind of a big deal. It's going to be a very big deal.
Yes.
Thank you, Dr. Shah. And also, Dr. Shah, I have a question for you. I'm Jeannie. Roughly, how much would the package cost us to be there?
So if you look on that fourth link, and I'm posting it again because it disappeared there with a lot of comments. But the fourth link here gives you also some packages. I think it's like $900 for 3 nights at that hotel to get a room, something like that. Then depending on where you're flying in from. So I would give you a code to get into the conference for half off. You would get a room and a flight, and we're in business. And if you have a business that you wanted to exhibit there, you'd let me know. The fourth link there is the prospectus, which will outline the agenda, the day, the times that are things that are happening. And as soon as we get our 1,000, by probably mid-January, early February, we're going to close the program, and the rest is going to be all online. Then it's going to be all ONPASSIVE. So this is all in the plans, but everything with a step. First, we confirm the doctors, then we set up the infrastructure, partnered up with the Italians, found the venue, et cetera, et cetera. Now we're step by step. Every month, something else kicks in on our end. While you guys are enjoying the World Cup, you're still in the background working on this stuff a little bit.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
All right. Any more question from you, Mabel, before I move on?
No, go ahead.
Okay. Okay, next I come back to Gola Raja Ganesh. Are you there? Gola? Hello? I think he's no longer there. Maybe you can remove that one.
Okay.
Okay, next we have Miss Tina Go. Hi, Sister Tina. Sister Tina. Maybe she has walked away. Okay, we have Mr. Kumaran from Malaysia. So you no longer Anwar Ibrahim, huh?
Okay. Personally, I got 2 questions. One is from our Prime Minister. He went for a meeting, so he asked me to ask the questions. And my personal question is that Dr. Shah, okay, we were there when you have a dinner with our CEO, Mr. Ash, during February. I think it was 13. Okay, there was a sharing, rich doctor, poor doctor. I still remember. All the while we thought doctors are rich, but then we were sharing one point that the poor doctor because of the the amount of investment they did for their studies, and they come back and there are yes, a few doctors are still very poor. Is it okay for you to just share about that particular part? This is very touching during that webinar.
I'm not sure which doctor you're talking about that invested. What happened to that doctor? I do a lot of podcasts, so I'm trying to get to the exact point that you were making.
They do a lot of payment, their studies, they spend monies in for their education, and ended up they spend about few $100,000, but then come back and they work again as a normal practitioner doctors, and their salary is less when the medical a lot.
Okay, now I recall. I recall the general topic there. So yeah, it's it became a money function. Now, for example, students in North America and the US, they're in so much debt. Some of these orthodontic students are coming out with $1 million in debt, and they can't. There's no possible way of paying that back with their $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 salary. So it got completely out of control with the medical professions. Now it's a pay-for-play scenario versus who is got the best academic aptitude to enter a professional school. Now it's a game. New York University, for example, has 200 people in a dental class. Where I went to dental school, we had like 40. We interacted more with the instructors. We learned more. That was, less than 20 years ago. Everything is changing. So you guys probably hear, for example, it depends on what market you're in. In Germany, when I was there, school was free. So it's brings me back to the point that it's gotten so ridiculous. There's only one correct way of practicing medicine and healthcare. And every country and every person has just waltzed in, done it the way they want it. Hippocratic oaths of do no harm have completely been put on the back burner, and everybody's after money. It's disgusting. But yeah, the medical doctors are in trouble. The new guys they're sort of enslaved. They can't get married. They can't get a house. They can't get a car because they have a burden of $200,000-$300,000 on average on their back. Right now in California, it's $500,000. Every one of these guys coming out. And they have from the dental perspective, they have no way of paying this back. It'll take them 20 years to pay it back if they want to do all the other things. But it didn't always used to be that it was more about, hey, 20 years ago, you had a very small fee to go to medical school. You were more worried about competing against the next person and getting better scores on your exams and learning more about medicine and healthcare. But now, cash is king. You got enough money, I can assure you can get into one of the medical dental schools here in the United States. All you got to do is buy them a library or something, and your kids can get in. So it's a very unfortunate situation, and we have to change that as well. Education is a disaster. You hear it on the news. They're trying to waive some student loans for certain people here, because everybody's buried. They can't get out of these holes that the system has put them in. But education, we're going to talk about that at the World Gala. Academy is going to have a major impact in that, in terms of allowing people to teach. There's tremendous amount of monies to be made on the internet for education. If you have a skill or something that you know and you want other people to know it, you set up a course, and some people do very, very well doing that, training and education and bringing their skill to the marketplace. With Academy, you can be sitting in Malaysia and I can be sitting here, and we can do just about what happens at a university. I've been doing these online courses in biophysics and implantology for years. Now I'm starting to explore options of the ability to actually mail people hands-on models, so the didactic and the workshop scenarios can be done at home from behind a computer on Academy. But we're going to talk a lot about that at the World Gala and much more. If your prime minister wants to come, let's talk to him.
Dr. Shah, the second question is about the doctor, Google doctor. Dr. Google. Too many
Dr.
YouTubes,
Google.
TikToks. It's everybody is creating their own view and ideas and their theories. All this is in the digital world, in the internet. So, what is the pro and con, or what do you think? Well, I just want to share.
The pro is that doctors no longer, if they make a mistake, can easily hide it. And that was also a problem with dishonesty with patients. When there was an issue, they would hide it, and then the doctors can get in big trouble. The back scenario of it is you have to go to school for a long time to understand all of the different variables that are at play. Let me give you an example. I had a patient that came in last week and bumped a tooth, broke the tooth in half, and cracked the jaw a little bit. So I brought the patient in. I decided the tooth needed to come out because it was a through and through fracture. And I packed some Ogma in there. It's calcium releasing substance. And the patient constantly went on to Google and, was numb for a few more hours because I injected a lot of anesthetic. She was trying to tell me that his nerve was damaged. In 17 years of doing some complex surgeries, I've never had a permanent complication. So I knew that it wasn't it, but he kept going on to Google and he kept coming back with something new. And he kept coming back, and I kept telling him the first 24 hours is going to be very painful. So the Google doctor, at the end, I was correct, and the patient after 24 hours stabilized after the calcium release and the suturing. And but they go on to Google, and the Google doesn't know the history of the patient and doesn't put things into perspective. You really still need a doctor to look at the case, look at the medical history, what did the patient come in, what did the patient need. And but on the pro side, it's always good that if you have unusual reactions, that you can actually go on and inform yourself. Or if you want to go through a procedure, I wouldn't use them as Dr. Google. I would use it more as informational Google. If you want to see how a root canal is done, you can go on YouTube and take a look at it. You want to see how a leg amputation is done, you can go look at it. If you ever had to have this kind of a treatment, you would be able to get on that. But a lot of it is also misleading to that same context. You need just to have bad information could lead you to do certain things that could cause cause death. So you have to be very careful by taking any kind of recommendations from online that to take a certain action. Just for information, I would use it, but I always would ask my doctor or nurse if a certain procedure is safe, a certain medication is safe, and they will have to look at all your medications and compare them to make sure there's no cross issues. So for information only, I would not, there's no such thing as a Google doctor. There is now, but you know what I mean. The telemedicine is good to a certain extent, but that has also its own flaws. And sometimes you need the touch, feel, look kind of scenario. And in my profession, it's very hard to do dentistry over the internet. But I can get on a conference call with you and look at a lesion in your mouth and point to it and say, hey, this is not normal. You need to get that biopsy. That I can do over there. I can consult you and tell you how to brush your teeth properly. So there's certain things that we can also do in dentistry, but in many other medical professions, I think telehealth will be important. I think it's prudent for ONPASSIVE, if any of the leadership council is listening to this, to establish the healthcare type scenario for consultations, which would answer the other question we had earlier, where we can have an internal system to address our healthcare issues and ask questions and be guided in the right direction. If that answers your questions, Kumaran.
Thank you, doctor. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Thank you, Dr. Shah, and thank you, Kumaran, for asking the question. Thank you so much. Okay, next we come back to Miss Tina. Tina, are you back?
Hey, yes, I'm back. Thank you very much, Jeannie. Thank you, everyone. Mabel, for having me here, Dr. Kianor Shah. Thank you so much. My little chat message saying that how the other industries, the peripheral industries, like I said, is cannibalizing what the life-saving doctors are doing. They try to do as much as it can, but with the interference of the pharma industry and also insurance has also come on board to the healthcare medical. How is it the forum or is going to manage this these people who will be probably your exhibits or even in your forum? I would just like to know how the conversations in the forums would go.
In order to overcome, we need a three-pronged approach: an administrative, an academic, and a financial,
Right.
all powered by technology. So on the administrative side, first of all, the contention of these third parties is that somehow they increase access to care. Only doctors increase access to care. It's all nonsense. How they take away from the administrative tasks so the doctors can focus more on patients. That's also a completely false narrative. I have an office manager. You get a good office manager, you don't have administrative headaches. You don't need these big management companies coming in and taking over your office, telling you what to do. And so on the administrative side, ONPASSIVE will be very important because they'll create the tools that they will need, that office manager or that front person or two front persons will need to run the practice very smoothly without having to spend 20–30% of their income, a bunch of profiteers. These are called management service organizations that popped up over 30 years ago. On the academic side, we need things like Academy to train and educate and change the course. They have somehow justified and legitimized themselves by using lobbyists, governments. They're mostly in the US and Europe, North America, Canada too. And they're coming to your countries too. It's already started. So the sooner you guys stop this infestation, the better you're off in the long run. So as to insurance, I'm still looking for great ideas. I've talked to Ash about crypto, a scenario where instead of using electricity to mine coins on the internet, that you base the system of labor where credit is established on a public ledger and people can work on that scenario. We have a lot of work. This is just the beginning where we are with ONPASSIVE. But if you guys have ideas in that sense, we're willing to listen. So eventually the plan is to find some kind of a monetary system that could be sold as a package to governments and employers, because that's what insurance companies, that's how they survive. They fool the governments, they fool the employers.
Yeah.
So, and it's if we had it on ONPASSIVE, a scenario where we are using technology, not based on resources such as electricity, but rather based on labor of the doctors to provide certain services in exchange for certain credits, we could put it on a public ledger. There wouldn't be any more monkey business by any third parties, and everybody knows where the money flows. So ideas are welcome. We will get there, but one step at a time. When you try to do too much, you'll be launching one vertical right now on ONPASSIVE after another, and we are taking our steps on it on the healthcare side, one step at a time. We will get there, but the eventual vision is that the days for these insurance companies are coming to an end slowly. They're numbered because they won't be able to withstand the technology and the innovation. They have really nothing to offer. It's based on a hypothetical scenario that if someone gets sick, that they're gonna cover you. Most of the time, they'll fight you over it anyway. It's a ridiculous system that we as humans bought into.
I totally agree with that. Yeah, that's the reason why I asked that question. My other question would be something that would be hopefully more inspiring for the future generation in terms of biotechnology. Where do you see, not just in dentistry, well, maybe even dentistry, because here in Singapore, dentistry is expensive. It's a second expensive healthcare health provisions here in Singapore besides cosmetic surgery. So how do you see biotechnology helping in terms of reducing that price strategies?
So I'm not familiar with how your system is structured, depending if you're in a social system, if you're in a communist and democracy. It's all a money game, because again, healthcare was supposed to be there for everyone, and it was supposed to be accessible for everyone, but now it's just a money play. How do I see the hottest areas right now in medicine are regenerative medicine, such as stem cell research and things of that sort. Not just in dentistry, I'm also involved with many medical associations. For example, the Brain Mapping Foundation. I am very interested in the neurological aspects of our body. So I think that minimally invasive procedures is what patients desire, and that's where the industry is going to head to. So if you guys find and see minimally invasive type procedures that require less antibiotics, that require less pain the next day. For example, I place a lot of implants. I do sinus lifts. I do all sorts of bone graft. I do it with the Academy of Minimally Invasive Implantology, AMI, and I lecture for them. And there's many ways now to do implants a lot less invasive, to a point where a patient doesn't have any pain the next day, or very minimal pain. But I wish I could comment more on the healthcare system in Singapore. My personal belief is there shouldn't be a system administered by any country, really. This is a global matter. This is a matter of humanity. And these politicians a vast majority of them are useless. They do not understand what they're talking about, especially when it comes to medicine and healthcare. And it should be left in the hands of healthcare providers. That's my personal opinion, and maybe we'll get there. Nothing is impossible.
Yep, inshallah, we'll get there. I think the voice of all the doctors should be good enough to actually change. Not so much as a waterfall that was going to come on, but trickling it down to the basics, that doctors are the ones who are giving, saving lives and making sure that.
Agree. And it's unfortunate that they have dragged our names into the mud, because some patients don't trust us. They think it's all doctors, but it's the people behind the scene that are pulling all the strings.
All right.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for answering my questions. Thanks, Jeannie, for having me.
Thank you, Tina.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Shah. And okay, next we have Dr. Patience.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Good morning, Dr. Patience.
Good morning. Can you guys hear me?
Sure.
Hi, Doc. How are you?
Good morning, Dr. Shah. I want to echo Sister Debbie. We are very sorry for your loss. We've been in prayers. Hopefully the family is recovering for that loss. Any loss is something that takes time, but we know to see you're pulling off strong. So I just had that I should give away my Google doctor certificate, because I was I have a medical degree certificate from Google. I'm a Google doctor. So I've just been told to throw that certificate away. I think I'm going to consider doing that. And the first thing I just want to check, can epidemiologists, can they attend that conference? Public health.
Absolutely.
All right. And the last time we spoke about how to get rid of the middleman, which we know in the US here is an insurance company that just make patients' life and doctors' life a mess. How do you think ONPASSIVE, all this product will help us to really how can we innovate to get to the point that patients, we don't need to go through this middleman that is making healthcare too expensive, not efficient, and sometimes not doctors are forced not to give the best treatment and decision for patients because the middleman is controlling their profession.
Yes, ONPASSIVE is very inexpensive. It's available, and it will be available to the wealthiest and to the poorest on the same level. So yes, it's a whole different environment, Dr. Patience, because now there are no more secrets. That's direct business. It's clean, lean, and it turns your business into a mean machine. The third parties cannot no longer control it. That's the whole idea of us ending the corruption at ONPASSIVE. They can't control it. They have access to it. Before, you and I didn't know what was going on. Now we have the connection to the system that eliminates all of them. They're absolutely there won't be anyone left. These companies, when you talk about healthcare, they're outlawed in most countries. They're allowed in America because a lot of things are allowed in America that shouldn't be, but in Europe, for that matter, there are some consequences that come with a free society, they so call it. But ultimately, these third parties now are struggling to control commerce because of globalization, because of ideologies and new techniques. So we have to seize the moment, but there won't be any of them left because there's no more use for them. They're not there to say, hey, we're going to connect you with this guy and then we're going to take 20% of your income. Those kind of people are going to be gone out of the equation once you come onto ONPASSIVE.
Yeah, because you call the doctor's office, the first thing they ask what type of insurance you have. Here in the US, it's like, okay, that's my barrier.
Doctor patients, it's a joke. You come in there and you tell them, hey, you need this procedure. They're like, does my insurance cover it? Who cares what your insurance covered? What is it that you need as a patient? So they control our diagnosis, which is a big deal. Diagnosis, the word diagnosis. The insurance companies control diagnosis because patients will be less acceptance to the proposal of treatment. If their insurance doesn't cover it, they set a maximum as to what's allowed. So whatever falls into that is what all the doctors are doing, which is the saddest thing I've ever seen. I mean, you have Hippocrates turning in his grave if he knew what's going on today in the world of healthcare. Somehow they have convinced everyone that this is normal, which is mind-boggling to me. But every time there's a mess in history, somebody steps up and fixes it, at least to a point where it's acceptable again. So that's what we're gonna do, Doc. Where are you located in the US?
I'm in New Jersey.
Oh, New Jersey. Very good. Should come visit you sometimes.
I will come visit too. The last time I just asked, how do you feel about the holistic part? Because what I've realized, doctors don't look at the holistic part of medicine, right? They don't even check about wellness, your diet. They just prescribe because of the big pharma.
That's big pharma. That has
big pharma influence. I just said that. Because of the big pharma influence, how can we get rid of the big pharma influence and look at medicine as a totally holistic part of being? You know, that's.
I have no problem with holistic doctors, and I don't completely agree with Western medicine. My mom had a full table worth of pills. They give you pills, and then those pills have side effects, and then you get pills for those side effects, and then you get more pills for more side effects, and then you have a table full of pills. I don't take any pills. I barely prescribe antibiotics when I need to, and pain medication, because I know after my surgeries there's a significant amount of pain involved. But I don't take, I don't believe so much. But Big Pharma will send doctors off on vacation and bribe them and push their pills all over industry. Those doctors that do that, they betray themselves, they betray their patients, they betray the industry. But there are people like that. There's always going to be somebody that's evil. There's always somebody that's going to do bad things, although knowing that it's a bad thing. So Big Pharma is amongst probably one of the wealthiest groups. Everybody's afraid of them. I'm not afraid of anyone. I've been calling out the lobbyists, the insurance companies, the regulators for years, because fear is a disease of its own that can't be cured, and it crawls up in your soul, and it's a bad scenario. So we have to confront those issues. I'm not sure you caught that earlier, Doc, but we can't beat Big Pharma by directly confronting them. You have to weed them out. You have to re-educate the doctors. You have to use technology to come up with something that's more sustainable than what they're doing in order to get them out. But this very powerful group, and they have caused millions of deaths with their drug pushing and all the stuff that they do. But some of the medication is good, I guess. The antibiotics are good. Some people that have diabetes need certain medication. That's good. Some people that are struggling with cancer, that's good. But a lot of the other stuff, be careful. I don't, I don't want to say this medicine is bad, this doctor is bad, but the general idea of medicine was that the doctors would shepherd you through the healing process and help you have to be your knowledgeable person by your side, versus, hey, here's a script for antidepressant, get out of my office, next, here, just enough so you can turn the wheels and not think too much about it. So you prescribe because it's endorsed, it's legitimized by these groups. So it's going to take a long time, but we can do it. It can be achieved. I like Ash for coming out and saying, hey, listen, guys, we are going to end the corruption. And that's what we got to do.
Thanks. I see a lot of hands out. Maybe it's a comment, maybe it's a question. That how are we going to use ONPASSIVE and the doctors that are in to educate us, the patient, that to understand that pharmaceuticals have their place. And for me, I believe it's for acute problems, not for chronic. That is so that, as you said, you take one pill, it gives you take diabetes pill for a long time, you have a kidney problem, they say give you kidney medicine. I have my mom that was on the diabetes pill for 30 years. And well, I got myself informed and took her out for 2 years. Her kidney recovered, but she still believed in the pills. So she went for vacation, went to a doctor, put herself back on the pills. So how do we use our platform to really educate ourselves when it comes to this big pharma? We can't fight them heads on, I agree, but we can educate ourselves to understand the implication of all the chemicals we're taking. It has its place.
I've heard two amazing ideas here, Doc. One from Kumaran and one from yourself. One was, this is how ideas kind of come together. I tend to agree with you. What we could do on ONPASSIVE is create a patient education portal where we educate patients versus having to have limitations based on the practice of medicine and dentistry and pharmacy and whatever. We would have a patient education format that would also answer Malaysia, Kumaran's idea, where people can come and actually sit down and get educated on different healthcare procedures and talk to someone, even maybe that could be under the Academy vertical as well. So whoever is here from the Leadership Council, these things need to be looked at and addressed, and that's how we maintain sustainability. New ideas, new concepts, better. Great idea, Dr. Patience. Much appreciated.
Thank you. All patience. That's thank you. Thank you, Mabel.
Great stuff.
Welcome.
Lovely.
Thank you.
Great question.
Yeah.
Mm.
Thank you.
Told you, doctor.
Thank you. Thank you so much. When two doctors talk, we have a lot to learn. When two doctors speak together, we have a lot to learn. Thank
Dr.
you,
Patience,
thank
very
you, both
sharp.
doctors, Dr. Shah and Dr. Patience. Thank you. Okay, next we have Siti Aisha from Singapore. Siti. Siti, you are muted, Siti. Can you unmute yourself, please? Yeah.
Hello, Dr. Shah. Okay, can you hear me now?
Hi. How are you,
Hi.
Siti?
Okay, I'm a retired nurse in the healthcare system in Singapore, and I can understand these medical conventions, gala, and all that is always happening and very exciting and enjoyable to attend. I wish I could attend. And just wondering whether with I mean, you mentioned that they probably have brand ambassadors talking during that gala. Maybe Dr. Soha could arrange for some via OConnect that we could support the brand ambassadors when they are speaking. And then we could not attend, so maybe through OConnect, maybe you could be there I mean, with you, and not with you. I mean, we support the brand ambassadors when they're talking during the convention, and then at the same time, I mean, if we are on
You think you
passive,
can actually broadcast it worldwide through OConnect? You think we can
I
pull
don't
that off?
know. So only when the brand ambassadors are talking lah. Or maybe if you have any general topic about healthcare that you think general topic that you think is worth sharing, maybe broadcast it on the OConnect and we could watch it.
There's about 75 speakers, Doc, on the Congress symposium, and at nighttime, what I really wanna broadcast right now, thus far, we have told everybody it's behind closed doors. The doctors are gonna gather up and figure out all the problem. That session, the award ceremony and the discussion with the doctors, I would love to get this aired all over the world because it will erupt the
maybe
volcano.
the brand ambassadors, we as brand ambassadors support our ambassador when they're speaking on the platform.
Yeah, that's also a possibility. If you compile a list of the brand ambassadors you would want on, you can put them in an online program for
We're very
a
exciting
master.
to join in to listen to them. We're very exciting to join in to listen to them.
All right, I agree. So let's talk about that a little bit more, and see if we can get some brand ambassadors on. Do it through the OConnect. I just need to see when it's going to be launched and the additional functionalities. But that's all in the plans, Doc. So you're a nurse, you're a healthcare provider. Obviously, you're invited. Hope,
it's too far away for me.
So maybe you can join us on the online version then.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It was, I know I went for all these conventions before, and I know how happening and exciting it is. It's always so fun. So, and being in Italy and all that, yeah, but it's just that not possible for me to go.
Okay, nurses are angels, you know that, right?
Yeah, and then yeah, I miss those days that we attend during my active days. It was always fun to attend. So we see if you could make it happen that we could support. I mean, as not as a nurse, but as a brand ambassador, supporting our own ambassadors talking during the gala.
Yeah, for the online people that come in, that's one scenario. But you know, we need some physical ONPASSIVians at the event. Maybe it would be nice to have 20 guys there from ONPASSIVE that can help me with the crowd and sort of help me get them all onboarded. I mean, I'm the host of the event, so during dinner and the gala, we have the microphone. We can tell them, give them instructions, whatever message we wanna reveal, we can do it there.
Yeah, it's just an idea. So maybe we think about it. It would be great if it could be possible. Okay, that's all I want to say. Thank you very much, and thank you, GD, for having me.
Nice to meet you.
Okay, hi.
Thank you, Siti, and thank you, Dr. Shah. Okay, next we have there's no name on your Zoom, but Realme, is it Realme C21? Are you there? Realme C21?
I don't have an answer for that.
You are muted. Are you there? If not, I'll move on to the next and come back to you, okay? Next we have Francis Day from Singapore. You're muted, Francis.
Yeah, good evening, good morning. Thank you, Dr. Shah, for your sharing. This is a real Francis from Singapore. Yeah, I want to ask about how you draw. Anyway, let me give you a background of my question. I lost my wife 5 years ago to kidney failure. Right?
Oh my God!
And I've been taking care of her for last 14 years before she passed away. And through the years, I've been watching her bringing back medicine to the table before dinner. The dinner food is equivalent to the medicine she had. No? So she had to take all the medicine, then take the food. When I'm watching here through the years, sometimes I just wonder, how does doctor looking at the profession and looking at the so-called the patient, how do you draw a line between your patient as a sick person or your patient as a customer? You know, do you have this come flow to your mind whenever you treat a so-called patient? Because the way they administer the medicine, sometimes I just wonder whether how much is my wife is a patient or she's a customer,
Greatest question of all time. Francis, I'm very sorry for your loss. It shows quite a bit of your character for taking care of your beloved one for 14 years before your passing. I did the same for my mother, for customers, and they don't even know half the time the stuff that they subscribe to patients, what the long-term side effects are. Either there's lack of studies or they just don't know. They're just doing what they're told is to be acceptable. So it's in and out. It didn't used to be this way. And I don't want to go down this line because we're talking here about your former wife, but back in the day, it was more about them just being 100% patients. And the idea was that you took care of them in a community and you would be taken care of. So you didn't prescribe certain medication. I have a big problem with all these doctors 2 years ago coming out and saying, yeah, go get vaccines, go get vaccines, go get vaccines. And I got the vaccine because I'm a healthcare provider and I had to do it, but we don't really know what's in this stuff. Nobody does. So for doctors to come out and tell everyone, yeah, go get it, go get it, go get it. We need long-term studies. We need to see what this stuff does, how it affects people, what are the side effects, who's going to get it. Now, 2 years later, everybody's like, oh yeah, it's kind of like the flu and it's not a big deal. But we exposed hundreds of millions of people. I think it's over 1 billion or more to this shot that nobody knows what's really in it. And they still don't know. I mean, there's all these arguments going back and forth. There's a lot of strange stuff that happened in the last 2 years. So this is a big problem. This is why I'm here, is because you have to draw a line. Healthcare is the only business that you have to have something else in the back of your mind. Would you want to be treated the same way? Would you want your mother, sister, brother, kids to be treated the same? A doctor can think that if he's autonomous and independent, not influenced by other special interests, especially profiteers and money seekers and those guys. So we have to have our autonomy back. And I think things will change. You'll see a lot less medication prescribed. You'll see a lot less distress between the patient-doctor relationship. And you will see a lot more benevolence when autonomy comes into play. So it's really, the question is, will you help us help you get there? But you're right. The only profession where you have to delineate between business and patients, and only doctors can do it, because all these third parties, they see your wife, my mother, as a customer. They don't see her as a patient, but a doctor, a benevolent doctor that is independent, that's a free thinker, would actually sit down and say, okay, I prescribed this for X amount of years. Let's see what is going on here. How's she doing? Is she improved? Does it cause other problems for her? Is she getting a foggy brain? Is she depressed? They don't look at those things and they don't understand it. So we need our autonomy back, or it's just going to get worse and worse. That's the only promise I can make you.
Thank you for the question. It happened
nice to meet you, Francis.
Thank you. It also happened to me a few months ago when I had a skin problem. And I go around Singapore to visit all the doctors, at least three clinic and 3 hospital doctor, and everyone given me the same cream. At last, I went to the Singapore Skin Center. They also prescribed the same cream for me. So, and he gave me 40 bottles of the cream. And I told them I had been to 6 doctors and they gave me the same cream. I don't need any more. They said, "Oh, don't worry. You can put your cream in the hospital and you come back again and take." I said, "I don't need. I have the same cream." So that's where I have come to realize that sometimes the doctor treat us not as patient but as customer. Even after telling them I got a cream, they still give you the cream, like, and we had to pay them, of course. So thank you for your answer.
Yes, you're right on. There's a lot more than you think about customers versus patients. A lot worse than you might imagine. But like Bridget says on the side, that's why we're here. We'll fix it. That's what we got to do.
Thank you.
Thank you, Francis. Nice meeting you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great
Thank you,
point.
Francis. And thank you, Dr. Shah. Next, we have Dr. Benny. Hi, Dr. Benny. You can
Hi,
unmute
Dr.
yourself.
Benny.
Hi, Dr. Shah.
How are you?
I am on passive at the quintuple top. That's all I can say. On passive. Outstanding presentation, Dr. Shah.
Thank you. It's off the cuff. There's nothing prepared. This is what we believe. So
I don't have that much question. I do understand that in this country or all over the globe, most of the doctors, their main aim is just to eat our money. They don't really care. But the reason I am here is because I noticed about the events for the doctors event. I do not have a PhD in epidemiology like Dr. Patience, but I have a PhD in cyber security, despite the fact that I have a bachelor's in public health, master's in mental health or counseling, and master's in cyber security. Am I invited?
yeah, so the doctor, this is a great question. Of course you are. There are 5 categories of clinicians. Again, I'll list those so everybody knows. Medical doctors, these are physicians, dentists, pharmacists, optometrists, and chiropractors, and all their specialties. They all have subspecialties of all sorts in the medical, dental, every one of them. Then there's the 6th category, which is philosophy. This includes all PhDs, all academics, all the individuals that carry that higher education. Sort of what we're establishing is saying if you went to a professional school, you're smart enough to differentiate between right and wrong. So you should be able to help us with this scenario. You're definitely invited, and if you come, you will get the VIP treatment. I'll gladly set you all up. Just let me know. My email is listed here in this chat, Doc.
Thank you. I will be there. I appreciate it.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ambassador and founder. Love to all from the bottom of my heart. I am very happy to be here. Singapore International Webinar. Just my feelings here. Thank you. Over to you, ma'am.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your kind words and thank you. Okay, do we have anybody else who have anything to ask? Any questions? Any more questions from the floor? Any more? If not, then we will pass it back to Mabel. Mabel?
Yes,
are you with us? Yeah,
I
Mabel.
am with you from beginning to end. Yes. Thank you so much for all the questions, for the discussion. Oppo, you have something, Oppo? Let me. Oppo, you have something to say? Yep. Oppo, go ahead if you have something to share. Okay, maybe no.
No, I think accidentally.
Yeah. So basically, how do we end a meeting like that? It's a night with so much profound. Dr. Shah, you have brought us to a big, to me, you have made medical so personal now, because it is personal, but to me, it was so large. The big boys are something that we can't handle. We have an encounter where we have to remove a gallbladder at 44,000, Dr. Shah, to remove a gallbladder in Singapore at 44,000. But we can't do anything. We just have to pay. We just have to pay what they stipulate. You can't even question how it got so big an amount. So it is as mega, and why I say mega, it involves, as you say, insurance. It involves even government who are running the hospitals for the doctors to practice in. It's medical, it's insurance, it's government, the pharma. These are all big boys to us. But you have made it something we can reach for help. There's a hope. There's a hope. And Dr. Shah, your species is very few. You have 700 people in your movement. We do not know, you're bold. You're definitely very bold. It's something that I wonder whether besides you, anyone has attempted to do this. Okay, over the years, I have heard there are many scientists and doctors with who try to make it better, but they have not succeeded. Not succeeded at all.
So Mabel, just to add to that discussion, you do know that 2020, when we launched, we had over 2 million healthcare providers on our platforms. We took these 700 guys at the time. There were 100, then they became 200, 400. But through education, what they loved the most, they attracted 2.2 million people onto the platform alone that are healthcare providers, doctors, and nurses. So we know what ticks them, we know what they love, and we know where we have to go to get what we need to make this work. So 700 is just a facilitator. These are the names that have enabled us to get to the millions.
So we are encouraged. Hopefully you have also an additional 1.4 million of us, and our base on Passivians, the bigger it is, the better. And we have Oblast. So I just want to tell everyone, as big a project that you are going in, it is personal to each one of us. Healthcare, medical, it's personal. Everyone has a doctor. So let's all those who are here in Singapore, Malaysia, engage your doctors, tell them there is this gala, tell them there is this endeavor, and we hope. Okay, let me see. And we hope the world will be a better place, Dr. Shah, with you, with Dr. Bill Williams, with Mr. Ash Mufarah leading the way. And definitely we are all with you. We are behind you. If we can, we'll go to the gala to support. And anyone has anything else to say? I am enlightened. I'm encouraged. I'm touched. And thank you for sharing your vision, your passion with us as to how you have a plan versus the medical, the insurance, the big pharma, and God is with us. God is with us. This is definitely If ONPASSIVE is something that God has generated, created, definitely this movement also. Naru, you have something to say? Or you have, let me, okay, his hand is not up. So it's late. Dr. Shah, maybe as usual, when I ask Dr. Bill to close, would you like to close us tonight as to how?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Again, thank you for all the people that came here tonight. Every person in this platform is as important person next to them. I really appreciate all of the collaboration and excitement. I originally came for a very short period of time, but I gladly stuck around because I stated this looks like a very fun group, and indeed it is. Again, thank you so much, Mabel, for putting it together and organizing and revealing all the information that is needed to our colleagues here to better onboard into the ecosystem. My doors are open, as always, to all of our unique family members here. We would really appreciate your support, as stated throughout this discussion, to perpetuate the Gala operation. It's not about promotion. It's not about promoting an organization. It's about restoring order in the healthcare industry.
Wow.
And I hope that we will have that support. As a consequence, many good things are going to happen for ONPASSIVE. With that said, again, my deepest gratitude for having a platform and audience here.
Yep.
Thank you so much, Mabel.
Yes, to and from all of us, other than those who have mentioned, condolences to the passing of your mom. But I'm sure she's in a better place, and may you be comforted, really comforted. Okay, there may be onboarding questions, but I think tonight we are enriched. We are informed. We know the world is going to be a better place. So let's say a good night with a very, very high note that Dr. Shah, Mr. Ash Mufarah is going to make the world a better place. Indeed, indeed, with the movement. So good night, everyone. John, nice to see you, John. Thank you for coming on, and many others, all the speakers. Francis, thank you. Kumaran, and so good night,
Thank you so
everyone.
much. Good night.
Love you all. Love you
Good night.
all.
Thank you.
Yes, good to see very soon to all. God bless.
Thank you. Thank you
Bye,
so
everybody.
much. Thank you.
Bye, bye.
Bye, bye.
Be patient. Be
Bye bye.
patient. Be
Bye,
patient.
bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you so much.